How the hell did I get here? Well, I don't have time to worry about that. I've got a video to do. Let's see. When a hero vows to defeat an impossibly stronger foe, there's only one way to even the odds. A training arc. A training arc is not just an easy way to pad out a story. At least, not until executive pressure makes you overextend the series. A training arc is instead a great time to introduce some character development and have a few laughs at the same time, since the pacing is much more casual than in action-heavy sequences. So for example, you can introduce some new characters, have them connect with the audience and with the existing cast. Also, wearing heavy clothing can make you so strong that you'll be able to shoot lasers from your hands, fly, and bleach your hair at will. Training arcs can really weigh down your story, so you should try to avoid them if possible. If your characters are undergoing training, yes, allude to it. Show that it's happening, but at the most, take a cue from sports movies and simply stick with a training montage. And if you don't even do that, maybe your audience will just assume that Luffy accidentally discovered he can make his hand grow really big by biting into his thumb and blowing into it like a balloon. Which, now that I think of it, doesn't sound all that unlikely. Your protagonist can never have too many training arcs. Ever. Seriously though, a training arc can be entertaining, but on the other hand, it can be not entertaining. For example, your hero could be having a climactic battle with a giant fox demon trying to gain total control over its power. Or he could be a constipated moron trying to rip up leaves with his mind. Either way, it's a great way to take him out of the equation whenever there's a fight going on that you don't want him to be involved in, even if it's far more interesting than whatever crap he's got going on. Oh yeah, I totally care about the half-naked teenager sitting on his ass meditating in a pool of mucus while a city's blowing up at the same time. Eating delicious food counts as intense training. And that's pretty much it. There is never a bad time for a training arc. Even in the middle of a gigantic battle that's been going on for nearly 2 fucking years, you can just have your hero sit down and have intense super mix you a badass training. What's that you say? Is it time of the essence? Well, it's okay. This type of training literally stops time. Isn't that convenient? Oh, and your audience totally won't mind if you do the same trick twice, except the second time you do it, instead of your main character cutting the crap out of the most intimidating character in the entire series, he just turns into a gay mummy and beats up a Trojan man. Training arcs? Why, that implies that the training ever actually stops. You should endeavor to make your entire series resemble an extremely long Charles Atlas advertisement. Then revel in the schadenfreude as your protagonist teachers repeatedly try to kill him. And if you really need a breather from that, break it up by shamelessly objectifying the underage female lead at consistent intervals. Yes, put her on display like a girl whose breasts and buttocks more resemble bowling balls than actual human body parts. And feminism marches on! Yes, you can have your protagonist trained to improve himself when his primary skill is drawing. And yes, you can make it interesting. Granted, to make that happen, you have to have the most interesting character in the manga show up, and he'll completely still focus away from the protagonist, but you know, whatever. Your audience will totally believe that your characters trained hard enough to get significantly stronger even if they didn't get to see the training session. All they have to do is show up in the next scene covered in lots of bandages. Also, the person to train them should be a really creepy guy who wants to bang his sister. His sister being one of the 2 people who was training under him. Oh god, that sounds horribly wrong. I'm now very happy we didn't have to see that training session. Training arcs are especially important to sports manga series. After establishing how innately talented your protagonist is, you can show him improving upon those skills, while simultaneously learning the values of hard work and discipline, transforming him from a simple comical character into an interesting and inspiring figure that your audience will truly care for. Training arcs are especially important to sports manga series. If your audience witnesses all the struggles your protagonist goes through as he works towards his goals, they will become invested in whether he wins or loses. And even in a boxing manga, it's not the action that makes a fight scene great, it's what that fight means to the characters involved. Training arcs are especially important to sports manga series. By demonstrating to your audience all the hardship that your characters go through together, you can show them how they transform from a random collection of characters into a group of teammates that care for and support one another. And in doing so, they will feel as if they have grown close to those characters and connected with that team. What's a training arc? Those things for characters that aren't already perfect in every way, right? Okay, have your protagonist hit a rock at a log that's falling on him. That's how people get really good at tennis, right? I changed my mind. Do training arcs all the time. Super high-tech burglary operations to steal booze. Running around with balloons while killer birds chase them. Burying some assholes pee. God, what was in my drink? Wait a minute. I know why I'm here now. It's because of you! Who sent you? How did they find out about me? Well, it doesn't matter. You're not finding anything out from me. Viva la revolution!